It's a pleasure to me to make this presentation about my internship report for working from home, a challenging experience. This presentation has 5 parts. One, profile of the host institution and nature of the internship. I will show you the flow chart of the nucleus of University of Los Andes, Dr. Pedro Gutiérrez, and also the revista de evaluación e investigación. The second part is the reflection essay, working from home, a challenging experience. The third part is cultural essay, how cinema has helped to change the moral perspective in American society. For our conclusions, and the last one, recommendations. This is the flow chart of the nucleus of the University of Los Andes, Dr. Pedro Gutiérrez. The University Council is related to Merida, and they have autonomous. Okay, they have the nucleus. They have the office of Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and the core council is divided in 5 parts. Administration coordination, council of postgrad studies, bachelor coordination, secretarial coordination, teacher coordination, extension, and cultural coordination. I belong to the council of the council of director of the master degree in evaluación educativa. There is the director is the Dr. Doray Contreras Zambrano, and also she is the chief of the master degree in evaluación educativa. And the revista de evaluación e investigación belongs to the master degree in evaluación educativa. The student of that master degree, they need to make a thesis and to present an abstract and to that have to be online. Okay. And this is the flow chart of the evaluation investigation. The director and the editor was the Dr. Doray Contreras de Zambrano. They have an executive director, and I belong to the editorial board in the part of translation team. I belong to the translation team. We're a translation intern. Okay, I will explain you my reflection essay for working from home, a challenging experience. First of all, I want to be my internship right here in San Cristobal because my hometown is very. I want to work in a place related to the University of the Andes. Okay, and I met the professor Johnny Angola, and she introduced me to Dr. Doray Contreras de Zambrano because before I talked to him, I explained that I studied translation in Merida, and he helped me to find to introduce me the Dr. Doray. Dr. Doray is the editor and the director of Revista de Evaluación e Investigación, and she explained me the translation was the back translation of 8 abstracts and a book review. First of all, I feel scared because I don't have, in that time, I don't have the knowledge and the tools and the way to translate, to make back translation, because during my studies, I make direct translation, okay? But in that time, the university, the building B, where is the Council of Postgraduate Studies, the office, the electricity doesn't work properly. And there is an office, I don't have electricity, no, the internet, and it's very difficult to make the internship in that place. I will be working on Monday to Friday in the morning, but the transportation, the means of transportation. There is very difficult to find good one, and I prefer the doctor that I talk to me and explain the situation, and I agree to make my internship. Yeah, so, okay. First of all, when she sent me the abstract via email, I organized the tasks depending on my schedule because in that time I work from home and I need to organize. Okay, when the text I received it in my email, I read it, understand, and analyze the text. To when I have a doubt, I call her. I call my institutional tutor. I explain it. I ask her. And I feel more connected with the text. Okay, I familiarize with the terms, that kind of specific term, the way they translate, the format of that kind of text. Okay, the keywords, the proper word, the definition, why they explain or they make that kind of text. Okay, identify grammatical errors, spell friends, and terms of the abstract in Spanish. Okay, because I don't have the knowledge, I felt I want to be prepared to face with properly the text. The most important tool, the reference tool that I used was the internet. The internet showed me in that tool I was consult specialized dictionaries online dictionaries and parallel texts that help me to understand better. To I use cross.com, word reference that.com, linguist.com. I use google.com in the part of advanced tools because during my studies when I was so translation 1, 2, 3, 4, and documentation terminology gives me the learn I in that subject I learned about how is structured every kind of text because it's not the same when you translate an academic or a legal or a scientific or a medical or a literature an article about news. You need to familiarize, to focus, to be aware. You need to be responsible. Sometimes I feel lost because I don't have the supervisor of my institutional tutor. I called her and she didn't answer me. But there is I need to be more to be clever to face the situation with responsibility. Also, I established deadline and met deadlines because the responsibility as a student is very important to me when you make a translation to be a good translation and to be more aware of the problems that facing that kind of situation. Okay, and I feel very proud of me because in the beginning I don't feel comfortable to to make bad translation, but eventually I I think that I was learned very much. And this opportunity, enriching experience that helped me to grow up as a professional. Okay, this is the abstract number one. It is the structure, the names, the name of the university, and the keywords. Okay, the abstract two is the same, the title and the keywords. Abstract number three, the resume abstract, they have that kind of title, okay, the same format. Abstract number four, okay, the name of the author, emails, telephone numbers, keywords. Abstract number five, okay, the title and the keywords, the name of the author, email, telephone numbers, they remain the same structure. To translate it, I need to learn a lot about that kind of those kind of tests. The to be more prepared, to be very comfortable when I said to start to translate. Okay, this is the title, resume, abstract, and keywords. Okay, the name of the authors of the abstract. Abstract number seven. Okay, this is the same of the before ones. Okay, keywords. Abstract number eight. Keywords. That's it. It's no. It's sometimes I feel like it seems very easy, but eventually, when I translate it, I figure out that there is no an easy text when you translate. You need to prepare to read, reread, and to be familiarized with the subject. Okay, and to think, to analyze, to put the correct words, and to use the proper terms, because sometimes you will find to false friends, and this is not the idea. This is a book review. Okay, they remain the same format. Okay, and that's it. Okay, how cinema has helped to change the moral perspective in American society. When you see a movie, you will see the good and the bad way. Okay, the American society, you will see stereotypes of Latino, African, and Asian and European communities. The American dream, when people go to the United States, they want to accomplish the American dream, to live the American dream, but sometimes it's that the definition has changed during time, and that was reflected in the movie. Okay, because U.S. is a multicultural country, people around the world live there, and you will see different kind of languages, different kind of music, the culture, the traditions are very rich. Okay, there is a multicultural country that you will think that whatever you want, and the movies shows and have changed the moral perspective in American society. How there is no, you will see cultural diversity in that different kind of movies. You will sometimes you feel identified, you sometimes not, and that's okay. That's the magic of the cinema. Okay, when the cinema in its beginnings, the segregation and racism was permitted. Okay, There was very common that people, white people, paint their faces on black to represent black people because it was not permitted that black people work or remain in the same space, in the same place. Okay, and the birth of nation, 1916. People, white people paint their faces on black to represent African people, and that's very change because there is currently it was not permitted. Okay, and that God with the wind in 1929, the the black people are good slaves. They is very proud to be a slave. Okay, but that the cinema has changed a lot. Depend of the social changes, the social problems, the World War II, World War I, the Vietnam. Okay, that that problems reflected on screen, and the directors have the opportunity to show the American culture in the on the screen. Okay, but the terrorists, the 9/11 terrorist attack changed the way to make movies. Before the 9/11 terrorist attacks, United States, it was considered a powerful nation. They were very secure place to live, and that particular moment established before and after. Okay, and that change have that that event have changed the way of to make movies, to see the violence, the use of guns, and the the American citizen has very damaged psychologically because they don't have peace. Okay, movies tell us about different aspects in a specific period, and that's have changed. Okay, the internet is a platform to understand American culture. If you doesn't have in the United States, if you haven't been there in through internet, you will search the movies, the music. Okay, the American cinema has become more inclusive where the minority is the currently is a way to focus to involve the minority. Cinema is an artistic expression where people can feel identified when they go to the cinema. Movies can be an instrument to motivate a change in society when people thought about their life, compare with somewhere with different kind of culture. It is a way to understand better the culture and have been changed through time. Okay, there is a conclusion. Working from home was an enriching experience for me and for my institutional tutor because I can help the university with my translation of the that kind of abstract. Okay, the internship changed my perspective of translation because I become more organized. I establish a work schedule depending on my duties because I organize my time depending on what kind of text the abstract one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and I can relate it and identify and to learn about that. The education evaluation, okay? My internship helped me to be a more organized person because if you want to be a translation, you can be organized. Okay. This for my translation method, I searched the words I didn't understand. I underline. I to be to translate and to understand properly the text. I became very worked because I complete my tasks online. Because I finished it and I sent them to my institutional tutor via email, and she felt very proud of my work because I dedicate with my heart to be a professional person. Okay. Okay. You cannot take for granted your responsibilities as a translator because if you don't have the studies and the knowledge, you need to search. You need to query a curious person to be more mm, more intelligent, to search, to be a curious person. Because if you're not if you're not curious, probably the translation is not your thing. Okay. And working as a translator in revista, evaluación e investigación prepare me to feel more confident about my knowledge about translation. I think that I was very proud of me to make a back translation, to face that kind of abstracts, and I feel very proud of my work, and I feel more organized, to focus, to be help me to grow professionally. Okay. And the recommendations to the host institution: improve the communication between the inter and institutional tutor, because sometimes the inter can be felt uh, sad or confused about that kind of specific task, and the institutional tutor have to be supervise their work properly. Okay. The supervise the inter task through a week log, because to be more organized, to to know what is the task that finish or not in that week. Okay, hire a translator to proofread the abstract properly, because it is a way to make a good translation, because they need to upload online. So the School of Modern Languages include practices related to back translation, because it is a way to prepare the students to the professional life. And there is it's very common that as a translator will face a back translation in the future. Okay, and the third, future translation colleagues look a host institution according to professional option, because you will be put into practice your knowledge, and you will feel happy and comfortable when you make a internship in a good place. Get out of the comfort zone. You will be more intelligent, more be proud of you if you get out of your comfort zone. Okay. Organize the schedule of the duties properly, because if you know don't be organized, your work, the text, it was the reflector of your responsibility. And thank you for your attention to be in this presentation, to give me the opportunity to explain my work, my internship report. Well, thank you very much for your time, for your attention. Thank you very much. Bye.